This is a teardown of a DLA3000RM2U APC branded battery backup. It's a SmartUPS 3000 VA. This is actually, I believe, the same model I'm using in my rack right now. This came from a recycling pickup though, and as you can tell, it's very dirty and cord's messed up. Not sure what they had done to it, but I don't feel comfortable selling it, and I don't really need it since I actually have a spare one of these. Although I did damage the battery pack, so I am stealing the battery pack from this one. I did put my drill too far away though. So yeah, I salvaged some stuff off this. Just a warning for headphone users, this probably is going to be loud. These screws, well, at least the ones I've taken out so far, are pretty seized up, so this drill is going to make some noise. But yeah, take a look under the cover. I haven't scrapped one of these in a while for a variety of reasons. Partially because I've started saving them because they're so expensive, but also I haven't been getting as many rack mount battery backups in for recycling as I used to. Alright, try not to kick the tripod on the way around. I used to scrap these kinds of battery backups all the time. Huh. I think this one's not the same as mine. I think this one might be configured for 120 volt input. Because it has normal outlets on the back. I didn't notice that. Still not very desirable though, because I would need a 30 or 50 amp circuit to drive this at 120 volts, and I don't have that available in my server room. And here's the inside, in case people want to see what I'm talking about too. Here's the breakdown chart of the unit. Oh, I'm in wide angle, so it's not going to focus. There we go. And this was a Dell rebranded one, basically. Still has all the APC markings and stuff, but Dell part numbers. Internally, they should all be the same, though, whether it's a Dell branded APC or an APC branded APC. And here's the inside. Not too much to see. Some big transformers in the front. These things are really awkward from a weight distribution standpoint. It's not great. But let's see here. I might put some stuff on. Or the power input section. So the interesting thing about these is they are somewhat configurable. You can change the plugs and stuff that are on them. I'm actually going to be nice to this because I want to save this. Odds are I'll never need this cord. Well, no, I take that back. I did end up using a cord like this when I had my buck boost transformer put together, because I didn't want to pay for cords, but I saved a bunch of nice cords like these off battery backups and the plugs. Sadly, the people that gave me this one kept the plug, but yeah, so these are somewhat interchangeable. You can reconfigure the connections. I don't know how it works when you're changing between voltages though with these. I don't know if you can take a 120 volt APC and convert it into a 208, assuming it's a model that supports that. These bigger 2U ones, once you get in the 3000 volt range, usually have multiple configurations, versus the like 1500 series ones. I don't believe I've ever seen one that does more than 120 volts. And honestly, it really wouldn't make much sense anyways, because I don't know what you would accomplish. Really, it just comes down to efficiency once you start getting into this stuff. But here's the input breaker. And it's kind of focusing, even though I'm slightly wide angle. I think I'm just gonna, I keep putting in a wide angle view, but I think I'm just gonna leave it at 1x. Maybe I'll back the tripod up. But this fuse is rated for 240 volts at 30 amps. So based on that chart, I'm going to guess that this was the 30 amp rated one, 120 volts, which puts it at 2,880 volt amp, or 2,700 watts. I wonder why. Oh, that's weird. So I guess the input plug can be 30 or 50 amp rated, but the most power this will take in is 24 or 25 amps at 120 volts. I wonder what the point of the 50 amp input is then. Huh. But this does have a really nice 10 gauge cord on it, 3 conductor. And it's I think fairly finely stranded. It's really nice, soft, supple cord that bends around real easy despite being a higher gauge. I back this up just a tiny bit. So the output section of these battery backups usually are on their own assembly, which is nice. It simplifies the manufacturing process, I'm sure, depending on what outputs the buyer would want. See if I can easily pull this out. That's odd. Take my gloves off. It's not cold in here. I'm just trying not to get my hands too dirty. Huh. Something's hanging me up. I think it might be this twist lock plug. Weird. Alright, I'm going to take it out completely, I guess. So normally these are designed to come out as a module. The whole panel, basically, assembly. Nope, not catching on that. I've never run into that one before. That issue, that is. Huh. There's just not... Oh, there we go. Just need to twist it enough. And normally they'll just kind of nicely come out. Just going to put those screws back in for the twist lock real quick. And yeah, this is 120 volt rated. Huh. That would have been nice. Alright, I'm glad I have the buck boost transformer. Really the biggest reason I wouldn't be able to use this anyways is the 0U rack PDUs that I have. Those are 200 to 240 volt only, so this wouldn't have helped my rack any. Because those 0U PDUs I have are really handy, even though I'm only using it for half the stuff. But yeah, so this is the little breakout panel for the outputs. It's all pre-wired, and actually I could have even just disconnected these. Nice spade lugs there. I like saving these, so like there's probably, I don't know, dollars worth of scrap here, but you get these nice outlets. Oh, cool. 15 amp rated and 20 amp. Twist locks, those are always nice to have if you need them, because if you need them, they're really expensive. I think at the store that might be, well, it's a Hubble too, so it's a good one, not a crappy Leviton, but you know, that might be like $30 at the store, probably 15 online. But yeah, I like saving these parts even though I'll never use them. Yeah, this thing's so dirty. It's covered in like 10 years worth of mechanic shop dust. These are just grounding screws on the back, it looks like. That one is actually attached to the board. Oh, get these connections for the transformers. Probably should be a little bit more careful, but I don't think this thing has a charge. Oops, squeezing my drill. There we go. I'm gonna remove this little fan. I gotta go under the tripod. Little fan wall here. And while I'm at it, I might as well remove these other screws. Those are rivets. These screws need to go. Yeah, boy, this brings back memories though. I haven't scrapped one of these in ages. I think this should just come up now. I need to... This, I think, will work. Nope. Ooh, I should have worn my safety glasses there. Plastic was a bit brittle in that zip tie. Alright. Oh. Been a while. The battery input wires are soldered into the motherboard after they run them through here. And there's just your normal 80mm fans. 24 volt. Huh. Alright, I guess not normal. Yeah. They are somewhat prone to failing over time. My personal battery backup in my office, the fan is starting to go bad, so I might save those and see if it requires the same fan or not. But yeah, I got two of these ginormous transformers here, and they end up, they're tied together. Yeah, so hard to do this with the tripod in the way. I think I also like saving those Anderson connectors that they use from the batteries, the blue thing over there. I don't know why. They do make really nice battery disconnects for like if you have a motorcycle or whatever that has parasitic drain issues and you don't want to keep it on a float charger, or I guess if you want to easier way to hook it up to the float charger, because that's another thing that's kind of cool about saving some of those parts like that. So if you have 3 of them, you can mount one on your float charger and then one on your battery and then one on the motorcycle, and then just kind of disconnect and reconnect and, you know, play music with connectors rather than having to fight with those stupid little springy clips on the battery chargers that never seem to want to make good contact. Alright, I'm going to just cut this one back down. I'm going to put my safety glasses on. I don't think this has any charge, but if it does, actually I'm going to cut it higher. Alright, let's see here. Makes me wonder how big of a pan this was to manufacture. Honestly, this would be easier to tear apart if I wasn't trying to save stuff. I have boxes of parts from these battery backups like this. No good reason why. just boarding issues. But yeah, there's the fans. I might actually, I'm just trying to think if I want to save those as a spare for my battery backup. But, alright, let's see if I can get this transformer loose now. I'm going to walk around the tripod. Try not to knock it over in the process. Not a lot of room to work. This has been clogging up my workbench for a while now. Oh. And by a while I mean like, I don't know, a week, but I set it here so I would tear it down. And then just sat here for a while. Now I do believe these transformers are probably different because one has two wires coming out the end, and one has a wire coming out the end, and then it has a screw down lug under there, which I'll show you here in a second. I don't know if these fail, and I don't imagine they really have any real use. I mean, I don't know what you would do with them. Thing's a chunk though. Gosh. Bet you that thing weighs like 15 pounds. Okay, here's the other one. That black wire from the first one I pulled out was screwed into this terminal here. Let's see here. Just trying to remember what it takes to get one of these out. I think this little plastic piece has to go inwards. Basically, it's a wedge fit. Maybe it goes out. I think it goes out. Does it go in? I haven't dealt with one of these in a while. I think I push it in. Cause it has a little thing on holding it from getting away. Oh well. Nobody wants to watch me do that. See about this front board. Some plastic tabs holding it in place. There we go. Go over there. This little flat flex cable is just nestled in between a groove. There's some metal shielding basically by it up with a small gap that it runs down. And there's the front board. I don't know if that chip will be readable or not. Looks like it. No clue what it's doing. It must be taking these signal lines to control these different LEDs. Little display controller, I guess you could say. And then the main brains of the system should just have this one screw in the middle. There's some little standoffs it sits on. I think there's something on the other side I'm missing. I don't know. I think it's just stiff. I need this. Oop. Nope, something's definitely holding on still. Oh, there's just one screw. Well, this has gotten a lot lighter though since I started. Well, put the safety glasses back on because I'm going to pull out this little box. There we go. That the little control card goes in. That's what the little networking card plugs into. And it had a ribbon cable coming from the back. Basically a card edge connector. Oh, little screw hiding in the corner. Is that in frame? No, yes, maybe. There we go. It's right down there. Also got a temperature probe for the battery pack. Unceremoniously just yank it out. It is stuck in there pretty good. Alright, now we get the controller board out next. Maybe. Here's the ribbon cable for the little network card. Breakout box. The tricky part is those little standoffs. It's getting the holes lined up just right. Someone's hanging up on me. Oh, here's the main control board. A little ferrite bead there for noise reduction. Just rip this off. But got a bunch of really big relays there. What are those rated for? It says 20 amps at 250 volts. They're 24 DC relays. This is the switching voltage. So I'm guessing those are for AC switching only. I don't know what those are about. I don't know if those are supposed to be like 0 ohm resistors or current detection, or don't have enough pins. I just noticed that they have RY designations for the relays. So maybe this spot here is for a really big relay. Not sure what these giant transformers are doing. Wonder if they're providing... Oh, I shouldn't say giant. Giant in relation to like circuit board. Wonder if they're providing power to run the relays. Got some interesting capacitors there. Big round ones that are axial. They're not electrolytics. I'm guessing that they're maybe some sort of film capacitor? I don't know. I guess technically these have a film in them too, and they're little coils, but yeah. So I think this section here is what's doing all the switching to generate the AC voltage and frequency from when it's on battery, because it's where the batteries are going to. You got those various connections. I'm not sure what path the power output would take though. I believe there's a big giant ground plane here. I mean, this is the output, so I don't know if power goes in through here and works its way out. There were the two connections to transformers. Definitely above my head. Then this whole section here, I believe, would be the logic. I mean, you got the processor right there. This chip here is probably, or one of those two, or both of them are related to serial connectivity because, yeah, both these ports are serial ports. Some of this might be, oh, come on, focus. Yeah, it doesn't want to focus. Some of this might be just power regulation for the processing and stuff. But it's definitely interesting. It's a pretty heavy board. A lot of that weight's coming from these transformers though. Oh, let's look at these capacitors here. Can I get that in frame? I'm just going to read it with my own eyes. They are 63 volt, 1500 microfarads. So, fairly decent size physically. Yeah, really the only other thing left is the temperature probe, which I can't even see what I'm doing because the tripod's in the way. Step around it here. Oh boy. Oh, it's attached to the zip tie. I don't know what they're using for a temperature probe. A lot of times with the Dell PCs, it's just a transistor. Well, it's heat shrunk under something. See if we can get that heat shrink off. See what it's using for a temperature probe here. Try to do this without cutting my finger open. Peel it off like it's a carrot. I think I can get under it actually now that I have an opening. I'm gonna get more of it off. I think it's right towards the end. Well, it's not a transistor. I cut some of it accidentally when trying to uncover it. Some sort of ceramic thing. I don't know. Interesting. But yeah, hopefully that was interesting, and thanks for watching.